All right. How are we looking, Misty?
Looking good. Got,
Good.
yeah, quite a few people in now, and everybody's properly muted, so no background noise. And Sophia did not waste any time. She's the first one to post in the chat, which I appreciate.
Um, all right, we'll do listing reviews second as always, guys. We'll try to get to a few today. But let's have any questions first to go over the Q&A and then we'll do some listing reviews. Um, Sophia, I saw your email and it sounds like the ChatGPT thing that I suggested worked for you. Mm.
Well, she was on.
Yeah, no worries. Just for everyone, I guess, on the call, she was fighting a review and wasn't getting much traction. And so a good trick is to upload the terms and conditions for Airbnb into ChatGPT and then explain to ChatGPT what happened with the guest and have ChatGPT formulate an argument for you to send the Airbnb. And so I know she sent an email that she got, I don't know if she got it removed or just had a ton of traction from it, but
Awesome.
um,
Well,
yeah,
you
it
got
worked.
first question, Ryan. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this name right. I'm going to say Liddell. For amenities, would you provide things like wetsuits and goggles? And if so, how do you clean them? Or do they clean them?
Amenities is similar to like risk reward with how many nights you allow someone to book for. So, like meaning if you could do one night minimums, that would be great. But the risk there is pretty high for a party. So depending on the size of your place. Same thing with amenities. Like a hot tub. If I didn't have to have a hot tub, I never would. They are a giant pain, and they go green a lot, as Misty knows. They're just a lot to deal with. So, but they bring in a ton of revenue. I don't know if a wetsuit, goggles would be pretty simple, but a wetsuit seems kind of personal, and I don't know how to clean them. So that's something I would have to look into. I don't know how many people are asking for them. I don't know. I think there's a lot of amenities I would have before those that have to do with the water. Um, Maybe like a life jacket before that. There's a long list I would do before a wetsuit. But goggles would be cool. I don't think goggles, they're a little less personal. They're on different body parts that people don't want to try to guess. And they're not cheap too. So
Right. Agreed. Okay. Maria, do you put TVs in each of the bedrooms?
um sometimes. We didn't used to at all. I still kind of go back and forth with it. If we have additional TVs, we definitely do it. But I don't know. Misty, are we on the path that we do it all the time now?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we possibly can. Sometimes it doesn't make sense in a bedroom based on the wall space. And you don't want to put in a TV just for the sake of having a TV. So, like, if you can only put in like a 32-inch TV, don't bother. Like, that's a
Yeah.
ridiculously small TV. So, I would say yes. I can tell you from reviews, the properties that we have TVs in each one of the bedrooms, it gets mentioned a lot as a thing that they appreciate. Um, but yeah, so I think it's a case by case basis. Do it if you can, is my advice.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And I would at least want it in like the master or the primary, whatever the PC term I need to use today. But I would want one for, I just think it's like a parent to get away from your kids kind of thing at the very least. But I don't think it's a requirement in every single bedroom in the house. I do think you should put it in spaces that have games and toys or a kid space or anything as well, more so than the bedrooms.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say, like, to add on to that, the whole purpose of people using your property isn't to sit around and watch TV. Typically, if you're, especially if you're in a vacation rental market, or like a high tourism market, uh, it's a little different when it's a little bit more like remote, or that's maybe not the purpose of the stay. but more often than not, they're there to enjoy other things besides sitting around and watching TV. So if you're going to spend money on TVs, make sure you're not spending money on TVs first and sacrificing things that are better amenities like game consoles, like arcade games, or even something simple like a foosball table.
Yeah, we do get asked once in a while if there's TVs in every bedroom, or multiple bedrooms, but it's not a frequent thing. And we do have quite a few properties that do not have a TV in every room, and it is not a complaint, not often enough to change at least. So
Okay. Agreed. Maria said, great advice. Thank you. You're so welcome. All right. Next question. Besides the design review, I would also like to discuss pricing strategies and potentially using third-party pricing specialists to create momentum for busier spring and summer season in Atlanta.
hey Jens, you're muted, buddy,
That
but
is the end question.
yeah, but I don't know what you mean by third-party pricing specialists. I don't know if you can unmute
Okay,
yourself.
so
There you go.
third-party specialists is basically folks that purely work with price labs beyond pricing and basically sit at like a hawk over the data and try to improve sort of the, whether it's medium pricing, but they go after adjusting strategies for midweek stays, often nights, and all other things. And their specialty is really just pricing, no design, no operations, nothing else than pricing.
There are some specialists out there. I don't know if it makes sense for a portfolio under 10 to implement them. I don't know all their pricing though. I've talked to a couple about some stuff for us in the past, and it's an expensive endeavor. And what I worry about Airbnb and why we stopped taking on more management clients is the margins are slim, right? And at the end of the day, if you have someone managing your property and then you're utilizing software and everything else, I feel like the only people making money are the software companies in this business. And so you can easily outpace your profits in software you buy. But like I said, so I don't know their pricing exactly. I think having beyond what you have, beyond pricing, is a big step in the right direction that you kind of fine tune. I don't think someone's going to really know your market better than you would either.
Okay.
So does that help?
Yeah, I found some pricing specialists that allow me to shadow them. And so it's basically they do it, I'll shadow it, and I'll learn sort of for 3 or 6 months, I can learn sort of what they're doing and then decide to continue. It was priced at an annual of $199 per month with an exit clause after 6 months. So I thought it might make sense that since I haven't been really managing Airbnbs for a couple of years and just re-entered the market recently, I thought it might sort of brush up some skill set and build new skill set.
I depending on how they're letting you shadow, it can be valuable. I obviously I was just having a conversation earlier today that I'm a firm believer in like alternate education, right? Online education on things. So if you can learn even one little tactic, it's probably worth the money, as long as you understand that that investment might be made back in over time. I would imagine if you spent, $1,200 over 6 months on it, you probably will make $1,200 of something over the years of doing this. So I would say you would get that return, but depends on how much time you can invest in it and everything else too, and how much they're letting you actually learn, and not holding back information because they don't want you to leave.
Yeah. No, I understand. Okay, that
Okay.
helps. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm sorry, butchered this name, but I'm gonna say Diddy. Sorry. I had people staying for the new year. They made a smoke hole in my couch and it smelled like weed. Airbnb covered the hole, but not the smoking fee. It's in my house rules, a $200 fee, but they wouldn't charge it. I think she means Airbnb. Is there a way to charge a deposit or et cetera?
There is, but charging deposits, I think, is too much of a friction for a guest, that you will lose more money in the long run than that $200 fee you're trying to collect once in a while. What I will tell you though is if you can draw up an invoice for like a handyman coming over and putting an ozone machine in, and such, you have a better chance of getting something paid. They need an invoice from a vendor. They're not going to pay fees. And so you can try to get it from the guest, but Airbnb does not, they never pay out. They haven't not in years at least paid fees. We need to show vendor costs. So you need to have someone draw up a invoice for you on taking care of the smoke smell is your best chance. And even then, have fun. It's gonna be a fight. I mean it just is. It's like dealing with an insurance company. They're just, I feel like the first move is to deny first and then hope you don't come back. Remember,
Okay.
guys, the guest is the client.
Maria has another question. She said, what are your thoughts on having security cameras / ring cameras / noise sensors at the property? I'd like to have them for when guests aren't there, but is it weird to have them while they stay?
No, I mean, unless you're putting them on the inside of the house, you 100% need everyone on this call. You want cameras. You can't see your property, and they're 100% okay. They're legal. They're allowed. I mean, we even have them in the backyards on places that have amenities, anything from a fire pit to a pool, hot tub. If people want to complain about it, we don't want them like, especially like a hot tub, to be right on the hot tub right there in their face. But it's a liability thing too. You need to be able to see if an incident happens. We had someone try to jump string lights into a pool and land on the string lights and just tear everything down. And luckily, the whole thing was videotaped because they tried to fight that, even with that obvious incident. So you definitely want a doorbell camera is 100% mandatory. I would ideally have cameras on almost any entrance to the house too. It's a rare thing, but you are going to deal with incidents over time, and you want to be able to watch the entrances to your place. So I would definitely have that. We use Vivint on a lot of our places. For our places, it's not a necessity. It is nice to have. There's some good and bad that comes with a security system. It can have issues once in a while that you have to deal with, but at the very least, though, the cameras, the doorbell cameras, see how many people are actually entering your place. And then you can also watch cleaners. You can watch handymen. Like your eyes on your place. Unless you live next door, this is the best way to monitor it. Noise sensors we started with when we first started. We had more issues with those than we had good things happen. And so we don't use them anymore. They may have improved them, but there is a fine line of being a little too nosy of what's going on with the guests, and they know that. And if you do that, it rubs them the wrong way. And someone that is just having an enjoyable evening like you would, all of a sudden feels like they're being scrutinized over when they're not doing anything wrong. So I don't really care for the noise sensors. I don't think it's necessary if you can watch the doors of your house. I would also, though, talk to your neighbors when you set your place up for two reasons. One, you want to talk to them because they aren't going to like it. No matter which way you go, there's going to be an issue here. There are parking issues, whatever the case is, loudness. But you want to talk to them, you want to give them your number, and you want to make sure that if there is an issue that they can contact you right away. We have found that if people have an outlet, they will be much better neighbors. But secondly, they will be your eyes if that you do have an issue, and then you can then refer to the cameras to see what's actually going on and watch it further. So we've had a few issues with parties. We've had to kick people out, and the neighbors have helped us each time.
Yeah, great. I'm going to skip down to Leila. She said, you mentioned you didn't like Evolve for management. So who / where would you recommend instead? Or should I be more proactive with Evolve in some way?
I just don't like Evolve because I think you're doing the hard things already. Like, I don't want to sit here. I try to never really just sit and talk shit about other vendors. But Evolve charges you to do the marketing, get it online, and the guest messaging. That's actually the easiest part. And Misty can definitely agree with that. It's the maintenance, it's the cleaning, it is everything you're already doing that is the hard part. And so their business model, I mean, honestly, I can appreciate it because they're somehow getting away with charging 10% to do the simplest things. And so the reason I started doing all of this is I was teaching people how to get away from Evolve. I was teaching people how to handle the marketing because a lot of it's once you set it, kind of forget it. You got to answer a question here and there. But once the listing is built, once you have your automated messages set up, your door locks, auto inquiries, a lot of that is automatic. You're not messing with it a whole lot. So, and that's what we do. Like, so if you want help with that and get away from them, I can help you out with the marketing. What I can't help you out with is what you're already doing, the cleanings and maintenance guys and all that stuff on the back end. But on the front end, we have an Airbnb launch product that can easily get you set up and ready to go. And honestly, most people do better without them too on the marketing side once they're set up using the right software, using the right pricing software. You're just a node on their platform right now. And so they're just going to throw it out there and see if they get bookings, whereas you can actually mess with the pricing, look at your discounts. You can personalize it a little bit more, and people tend to make some more money.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I asked if there was anybody here for the first time. Heather said, it is my first time. Thank you for doing this. It is so awesome. So thanks, Heather.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one more, well, a couple more. So Liddell says, I know you mentioned last week about changing the title and photos around. Sorry. Oh goodness, now it's jumping on me. Mentioned last time that the changing the photos can you expand on that? If Beyond is doing the pricing, is there anything you should be doing for that? Someone said to me I was charging too little.
Was that one question?
That was one question. Sorry, it kind of jumped on me. So I basically she's asking if about changing the title and the photos around, expanding on that. That's the first part of the question.
So seeing what's actually going on behind the curtain with Airbnb is we have our spies, if you will, right? We have our reps that talk to us, knowing exactly what is going on, how it's working. I don't know. But what we do is we change our titles once a month. So every 30 days, we just adjust something. It doesn't need to be a completely new title. Use a different adjective, move around the amenities. We don't really touch the photos unless a listing is suffering. And we'll try something else. We'll see if another photo will get some attention to it. When we do change the photos, it's seasonal, meaning like a pool property that the pool's not open anymore. We don't want the pool to be the first thing that they see. Ideally, then we move to a warmer amenity during the cold season, like a hot tub or inside game room or anything like that. But you shouldn't, I don't think you need to move the photos around for the activity for Airbnb. But your titles you should change. I would leave the descriptions alone too. And then
she's asking about Beyond. If Beyond's doing the pricing, is there anything that she should be doing for that? Someone told her she was charging too little.
I mean, it depends on what your occupancy is, Liddell, to say you're charging too little. Like, I wouldn't let someone else tell you that. I would let the data tell you that, and that's really going to be is whether or not you're getting above 70% occupancy. Beyond is going to give you every 2 weeks a booking recommendation or a pricing recommendation. I'm not sure what they call it, but every 2 weeks they'll tell you whether or not you should change your prices. If you're not getting enough bookings, they'll look at lowering certain things. Sometimes they'll ask you to lower your minimums. Sometimes they'll ask you to change your base price, but they will give you some recommendations. What I will tell you at the core of everything, if you're below 70% occupancy, lower your rates. If you're above 70% occupancy, raise your rates. And so 70% is 20 days a month. And obviously you're predicting where you want to go. Where I'd like to be at for the next 30 days, and this is going to depend on every market. And Beyond will also tell you how recent people are booking with your size properties in that area. So you can see is in the last year or so, we've had more recent bookings than ever before. People used to book out 90 days. They don't do that anymore. They book, a week ahead of time, very, very frequently in a lot of places. So you want to see when that is. And then where I like to kind of be is the next 30 days, I want to be in that 20 to 30% range of already being booked. But you need to get to that level, leave pricing alone, see where you end up. and then have a better understanding of where you're going to end up. So, because maybe 40% is last minute bookings, maybe 50%, maybe 20%. It's dependent on each property, and it's really more of the area.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more question, and then we're probably getting close to time to review a listing. So, sorry for anybody that hasn't gotten their question answered. Sophia, I know you posted a couple, and I feel like maybe we need to have a separate conversation with you because they're kind of specific. Shazia, I had an incident yesterday.
We're gonna need everyone to put their name and spell it out for Misty in parentheses,
please,
so she has any idea.
It gives me so
She's
much
just
anxiety.
embarrassing herself every week.
So I had an incident yesterday where Roto-Rooter had come to my arbitrage property, and the cost was $3,300. There's an indication that since my guests had been in the home, someone has poured grease and flushed wipes down into the septic, which destroyed the pump. Is there a way to tap into insurance to have it covered when I don't know which guest did it?
That's a good question. So I assume you're asking about Airbnb insurance, or Vrbo or Booking.com insurance. Your actual insurance, I don't think will do much if you have it. But Airbnb, you can try. You're gonna have to blame the guest though, and so you're dealing with that from a guest side of view. You can try to have a conversation with them and tell them to deny the request and then claim it on the Airbnb side. But I don't, Missy, you might know a little bit better too on the logistics of that and how bad that looks for the guest when they do that.
Yeah, so on Airbnb side, it looks like you're kind of asking them or sort of blaming them for a damage, and it's a request. It comes through as a request, so it'll say like requesting $3,300 from your host, which is a little bit unnerving. So we like to call the guest ahead of time and explain to them that, like, if you can't really know that it was for sure the last guest, then you're just basically letting them know, like, hey, this is going to come through. Feel free to decline it. Or if it was you, feel free to offer to pay some of it. But we're not going after you. We're not blaming you. We just need to start the process of the claim. It's better to have the phone call.
When they deny it, that doesn't hurt the guest at all, right?
Sorry, no, it does not. It's not negative on the guest. No, it doesn't reflect on them at all.
Yeah, so you can try that route. We use Guesty insurance, which has been decent to us. So I don't know if like Guesty Shield, I think they call it. You can have something like that. They cover, like, what we have it up to a $3,000 plan. So that would be covered for something like that most likely. And then you don't have to involve the guests then too. So you don't have to worry about a bad review or anything else that's going to come out of it. But yeah, if the guest was decent, you can have a conversation with them and then submit it through Airbnb and make sure that they understand what's happening, what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay. All right. I am posting. Oh, she said thank you. I will try that. And you pronounced it correctly. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad I pronounced your name correctly. So, okay, I am posting a link for you, Ryan. This is Heather's place. We're gonna, even though she wasn't the first, I know, I'm sorry, whoever posted first, but since it's Heather's first time here, I would give her an opportunity to have it reviewed.
Hey Heather, how are you? Let's see if she's on.
Yeah, she's on. Go ahead and unmute Heather. You can. She's figuring it out. I can see. She's trying things. It's helpful.
Well,
let's see here. I do that. Maybe that.
I don't think we.
Here we go. Hi, thank you for doing that.
No problem. Hey Heather, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Did you get that HELOC?
It's in process. I have some stuff to do this week to set the dates and stuff up. But yeah, it is in process.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know we already went over this listing in person. Did you have a specific question?
actually, well, I sent you, when we did our call, I sent you all 3 of my listings, so I don't know how much you looked at this one, but this one is the one that is the most remodeled. So this one is 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms and probably has, the most updating.
Nice.
So I just was looking for some general stuff.
Sure. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Who's the designer again on these places?
So Walter Nesch is a famous architect from what's the big Chicago firm? SOA. Frank Lloyd Wright was there too, and so Walter Nesch studied under Frank Lloyd Wright, and Walter Nesch is credited with the brutalist theory of architecture. And so he also built the Air Force Academy Chapel in Colorado Springs, which is listed as one of the top 200 most famous buildings in the United States. So he is the architect of my 3 lodges.
That's so cool.
It is. The architecture is so crazy.
Our team was in Vegas this last weekend for a design summit, and my wife was brought up Franklin Lloyd Wright, and I was looking up some of his stuff, and I was like, I feel like I wanted to chat with you because your places kind of look like a lot of his places, just the pointiness to them.
Yeah, the architecture is very similar. Yeah, she is frozen. I'm going to mute her again. Sorry, Heather, just in case. I'm back on. It's just there's a little bit of a background noise. Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Let's get into it then. All right, so Heather, some of this stuff's going to be on repeat for you, but and for everyone else, and I imagine if anyone's been on this call before, you probably know the first thing I'm going to say. Your title is doing nothing for you. We don't need a name up here. We don't need the location up here. We need an adjective, a great adjective. And you could lean into something about the architect without maybe even saying their name, but something about that style home. And then it needs to be amenities after that. And so I don't know what amenities you have, but it's a very big place. It could be the size of the space. It could be what's outside the space as well. I know you have a ton of land over here too. So we need to mention amenities. We need to mention reasons why people are going to choose this place. These places being so big too, you can bring up things like reunions or anything else in the title too if you run out of things to say. But being very, very big is actually an amenity by itself because you're already different than a lot of places. Not every place has 6 bedrooms. So just clicking through the photos. Hey, we have someone that doesn't have it in the photo categories. So good job there. I'm a big proponent on not having the outside of your house be in the first photo. This is a very, very unique house though. So I would, depending on the amenities that you have, I would be willing to allow it. And I think you said this place looks like a star, right? You can just shake your head. Misty, this place all runs like a spiral staircase.
That's so rad.
So it goes up like 2 steps each room, all the way up to the top.
Cool. So cool.
See how it just keeps going. So
I dig it.
This is this private right here?
Which picture?
The one with the chairs?
That's a deck that's on my portion of private river frontage. So that is a deck that can be used by all 3 lodges. But the first one that you pointed to with the stools, that's that lodge's private deck.
This one?
No, up. Up again. So this is a shared space because this is actually on the river. So there's 3 lodges, so 3 buildings like that, 3 different lodges that you can rent. So the stools right here above the basketball court, that is this lodge's private deck.
You just want to make sure you're explaining what's private and what's public very clearly. So, or what's shared, right? People don't want to come say like, hey, we can go play basketball, and then they show up and other people are out there, right? So we want to make sure we're very descriptive because the photos blend together. You can't really tell, and you can deal with a bad situation there. So you either want to make things private for certain places, like maybe separate them out, or you just want to be very, very clear in the photos and in the description what's shared and what's not.
Okay.
First and foremost, you need way more photos. This is the only photo you have of your hot tub?
Probably. I can fix that.
So that's the best amenity that you have. It should be towards the front. We need to showcase it off. And as I always say too, we need to dress it up around it. We just need, you have some kind of lighting going on here, but I'd want like string lights back here would look great underneath this part. Like it would look great up there. Maybe some better seating around it. Some places
I do have
or robes.
Yep. So you can't see it, but there's hooks on the other wall that you can't see for robes and towels. And then actually all of the furniture. So I'm in the middle of redoing pictures at the moment. So all of the furniture there has been replaced and updated with a big table that seats 6+, and then there's a small soft seating area with another table that's off to one side, and then the grill is over. So all of that is new within the last 4 months.
Okay. Well, we just need to, if you have stuff, we need to be taking photos of it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if you say it's in the,
like,
you can say it down
totally
here,
get it.
but if it's not in the photo, I don't believe you.
Okay.
But yeah, I would start there, lean into that amenity, the rest of the amenities in the backyard, and then honestly, the inside of the house is probably going to be last as you're telling the story here. Your house could, a coat of paint could go a long way with a lot of the outside and inside. This, especially the outside, I would really want to find a color that's going to show off these angles and what's going on here better. Right now, it looks like it used to be a very cool place and has a cool story, but there's some fading going on with this photo here. And maybe you could take a better photo that doesn't look as faded, but it's going to make me feel like it's been left behind, right? And forgotten about. And you want to showcase it as like something that's been cared for and restored.
So originally it was just cedar, and the person before me painted it this steely blue, and I'm kind of leaning towards like a charcoal gray. That is something that I have on my agenda for this spring is painting. So what do you think of a charcoal gray? No?
We're going to fight
because it's impossible to, I looked into, she's shaking her head no, so I'm good with that. I'm open completely to suggestions, but getting it back to the cedar would be next to impossible.
Yeah, you don't need to do that either. We can find a better color though that's going to amplify it. So
Find a picture.
that's something we would even talk to you about if you win the design contest. That's stuff we would even talk to you about. Or if we help you in general, we'll talk to you about paint colors and everything else, and we'll try some out that can work out great for you. Because like I said, it's a very, very, very unique house, and we need to be able to show that off to drive all that revenue to you. So,
excellent.
And the more you can show off the uniqueness, the more you can get away with some of the non-updated spaces too.
Okay.
But yeah, outside for sure. I would focus on outside amenities. You just have so much space out here. So there's a lot of area that even like affordable things can be just stacked on each other to provide a ton of fun. I mean, so for everyone that knows, she has two others right next to this place that look almost identical.
Yes.
So this just screams family reunion. This screams like a giant get together, have some fun, sleep, whatever, 60 people. And but you want the things to do as well. Like if I'm renting this place for family reunion, we're never leaving. We're going to do everything here, right? We're going to do everything outside. So making sure we can cook big meals, and do some things outdoors. And then on the inside, like I said, a coat of paint would go a long way. Like for most of the areas. But I mean, we talked about this last week. We just need to kind of overhaul the whole design. I like that you got the white linens. We need some headboards though. We need some rugs. We need some blackout curtains. These guys won't do it. We always use blackout curtains for anyone on here. Your guests will very much appreciate it. But
hospitality standard. It's hospitality standard. Has anyone on this call ever stayed in a hotel room where they didn't have blackout curtains? No. It's because it's hospitality standard. Like it's just, you got to do it. You got to do it.
And if you did, you wouldn't stay there again.
Touche.
Right.
Yes.
So we want to make sure we're holding up that standard. And like this place, like I said, has such cool bones going on, but you obviously just threw in whatever furniture you found, or I assume marketplace or new people. Like it looks like it's just a collection of a bunch of random pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Some of it has been changed, but yeah, I had to deal with some of the stuff that she had because I bought it as an existing Airbnb.
Yeah.
And so I've changed the layout of a lot of things and brought in some other new pieces and changed every stitch of linen. But yeah, there's definitely things that I want to do and change.
Yeah, this, like I said, these are very, very cool places. We just need to update them.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's what is happening right now is not doing justice to this architecture. It's so incredible, and I know you know that, Heather, or you wouldn't have bought 3 of them. So, so it's very.
I also wanted to ask Ryan. You mentioned outdoor pictures and stacking stuff. So one of the amenities that it has, and I guess I just would ask how to style pictures, but it has. You can't see it, but I call it a toy closet, an outdoor closet that literally every single one has like 2 basketballs, volleyballs, every ball you can imagine, croquet, bag toss, outdoor games, all that stuff. So do you like put that stuff out and use people to show it, or how do you showcase that?
So we put it out for sure. You don't want to just open the closet door, snap a photo, and be like,
right,
it's in there. People do that, by the way. You want to put it out, like say it's a bags game. You want to put the bags games out, put the bags on the boards, take a photo. And ideally, if you have a good photographer, you want professional photography here too, either way.
Yep.
So a professional photographer should take a better photo of what I always say is like a product photo, like you're trying to sell it.
Right.
And same thing with badminton, same thing with basketballs. They need to be out on the ground. They need to be like, if you're showing a basketball court, take it from the photo from the ground and have the basketballs in the photo, and you can see the basketballs and the basket in the background.
Okay.
Right. Like you need to, but I don't like seeing people in any of the photos.
That's what I thought. I was like, so how do you showcase this and make it look good and make it people understand exactly what it is? So yes. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's your photographer's job, really. Like, it's their job to translate that into an image.
Okay.
So
Got it.
I'm going to be bad guy and cut you off, Heather. Sorry.
No
We're gonna do
worries.
one more. And this one, Ryan, I just put in the chat. It is another listing. This one's from JPW. So JPW, if you're still on and you want to be responsive to questions or concerns.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi there. It's
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, lady.
First time caller. Thank you.
Okay.
No, by the way, it's awesome. I'm grateful that I fell into this. So,
Okay. What's your first name? What's your first name?
Juliana.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Ryan. This is Juliana's. You want to get it pulled up?
All right. Juliana, did you apply for the design giveaway?
I have not. I'm going to though.
Okay. Well, we announced the winner on Monday, guys. So if you don't get in before then, you have to wait for the next one. And there's never a guarantee we're going to keep doing it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, and for everyone on this call as well, Misty, could you do me a favor and share our Instagram on the call? We are announcing the winner for the design contest on Monday. It will be on our Instagram. If you win, we'll get a hold of you right away. If you don't win, we also will get a hold of you and talk to you about a special offer. Heather, I believe you're in the design contest, right? Okay. So yeah, we'll announce the winner then. So make sure you guys are giving us a follow. And plus, we've been doing 30 days of tips, which we're still getting better at Instagram, but I think it's valuable information, even if the person, telling you at the camera, talking to the camera isn't very good. I think the information is, so check it out. But all right, Juliana?
Yes.
All right. So Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yes. Hollywood.
Is this right away? Is this part of the house right here?
It is not. It is
Okay.
it's a restaurant that's walking distance from the house.
Got it. I need you to remove this
Okay.
right away. You're gonna get a lot of flack for that, and
Okay.
it might be something like we'll talk about your reviews in a second, but I would want you to, especially with only 8 reviews, and there's probably like 1 4 in there actually.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
we want to be protective over this. This is your livelihood right here, your reviews. So you have to just fight tooth and nail to keep it as high as possible. And you don't want to ever feel like you're misleading. As much as people might click on this photo and then, and we got another one that's in order, so I have to find it. But I, as an adult human, will look at this photo and assume it's not part of the house. But what we have to do is take everything down to basically like a 3rd grade level. That includes like the reading, the description for everything. We need to make sure people understand very clearly, because I don't know how long you've been doing this for, but you will get a lot of questions that are
About 3 months,
surprisingly,
Ryan. A big 3 months for me.
yeah. So you will get questions that are surprisingly dumb. And so you don't want to allow that to happen. And I would remove that. And I would also remove the front of the house right here. But let me go through the photos with you briefly, and I'll show you what I think order you should get into. So we got a 3-bedroom, guitar house, Wi-Fi, walk to casino. Are these your best amenities?
Yeah, well, there's a poker lounge. The bottom room, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. There's a 4th room that has an ensuite full bath that we turned into a game room. That's basically it. The location is really what I have been able to. That's what it's mostly there for, the location. I have a lot of one-night bookings.
Sure.
It's close to the airport, Florida airport, Fort Lauderdale airport. So.
So do you think more Airbnbs have a poker table, or do they have Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So we want to mention the poker table, not the Wi-Fi.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's the frame you want to view everything through with your title, is what are the things I have that other people do not. And if you run out of things to say,
Yeah.
there's two choices there. You can either look at adding amenities if you've ran out,
Okay.
or you can start mentioning things like Wi-Fi, which I'm a proponent of saying Wi-Fi in the house,
Mhm.
if you have nothing else, but you do have other things right now. So
Mhm.
I would want to mention that. And walk to casino is fine. I would mention like how long of a walk is it realistically?
Okay. It's literally 4 minutes. And I have a
Perfect.
video. Yeah.
No,
All right.
like no, absolutely. Because walk to casino in my head is 20 minutes,
Okay.
you
Gotcha.
know, and so a
Yeah.
4 minute walk, like that's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
close.
so 100% mention the amount of time it takes to get to the casino. Um,
Okay.
so uh, your description looks pretty good. Love the emojis.
Th- Thank
What I
you.
would want though is more. These are technically bullet points, but they're like paragraphed bullets, and I
Okay.
want
Smaller.
more lines.
Okay. Got it.
Give it a better chance to people to read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes.
And then,
Good.
sorry, Heather, we didn't even get to get into those things, but I think I went over with them with you before, but this all applies. Are you using any
I am
pricing
not,
software
and
or
I am
anything?
on 4 websites. I do not only use Airbnb. I don't know if that's good, bad, but I've Expedia bookings. I actually have my bookings mostly come from not Airbnb, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to fix
Okay.
that. That isn't a thing to champion. I talk to a lot of people that say the same thing,
Okay.
and that sounds good because everyone else is doing the opposite, but there's something that Airbnb isn't liking about your listing.
Hmm.
Airbnb is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and so you're missing out on, 60% of your bookings should be at least with
Got
Airbnb.
it.
So you're missing something there.
Mhm.
Um, are you using property management software?
I'm not. I've literally 3 months, and I would say you're the first person that I've been watching from afar. I've been, silently looking at you, and so I find you and your counterpartner, Miss Misty, to be the most authentic, so to speak.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We try to be, like I always say, we're kind, not nice about these listings, right? We're going to tell you the
Exactly.
truth, but we
Yeah.
want everyone to make money. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if we should. I'll shoot you or shoot us a text after this.
I
I'm not
love
sure how
that.
you got into the group, but whatever way you're getting the notifications, and we'll make sure
Yeah.
that you can get the help you need. But we need to look at pricing software. If you're going to be on multiple platforms, you definitely want a property management software. It's just going to consolidate everything into one space. So you're not
Okay.
on multiple apps, answering multiple different people in different places. Plus, there's a
Okay.
lot of automations too that are going to be helpful.
I
So,
love it. Thank you.
yeah. So we didn't mention this last call too, but she has her cabinets open here. I would want to open up even more of showing, silverware, even spatulas, plates,
Mhm.
forks, everything in the kitchen. I want to know if I can make a meal.
Okay.
Um, Same thing with soaps and shampoos too. You want
Okay.
a close shot of some soaps and shampoos, show that they're included.
Yes, they are. See, my poker room is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Last photo.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this is, like I said, a differentiator. You need some better shots of it though.
Okay.
I'd have to really sit on that for a second to think through of how I want it to look or what you might need to
I'm
add.
gonna say, I'm gonna speak out of turn, and I'm gonna say that, in all honesty, I wouldn't do a poker room because you are so close to a casino. That is literally where they're playing poker. This makes
Yeah.
more sense as like a speakeasy. So that's something that
Oh, I love
differentiate
that.
you. Yeah. Okay. So
Adorable.
speakeasy,
Yeah.
you can still use that like vibe, or you could even use the table, but focusing on it being a speakeasy versus a poker room, I think is more enticing.
I love it. It's funny because the last family that we had there, they were playing in there, but they left a lot of booze in the freezer. So the speakeasy falls in line with that, right? Drinks and hanging out. So perfect.
Well, it's gonna be cheaper to buy your own liquor and drink at the property than it is to probably drink at the casino. So I can understand that.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, that's a great idea for sure. And there's a bathroom right there. But
Yeah. I did think about maybe just switching the whole thing out and adding another bedroom. And that was another thing maybe I'm contemplating. I thought it was a great idea. That's the whole idea to begin with, was because it was close to the casino. But if another bed would bring me more money, or I would consider doing that too.
you'd have to look at the data to know the difference between a 3 and a 4 bedroom place and what they're doing. I would probably lean towards adding the 4th bedroom myself. It might be cheaper too than building out a speakeasy. And the real key is like, you can tell this poker table is a foldable table,
Yes, it
and
is.
that's hurting you.
Okay.
With our designs, like the reason we can charge so much and charge more than everyone else is nothing feels light in that way. Nothing feels like it's foldable. And it's, if you had a substantial table in here, and I can show you an example of a poker room that we did at the what's the cowboy one, Misty?
It's
Little
called
Ranch?
Little Ranch, yeah.
But something like that would help. But even if you're going to do a speakeasy, you need to put substantial pieces in there that at least look substantial. Now, again, we do most of our shopping on Amazon and Wayfair, so I'm not saying like go get your poker table from Pottery Barn, but a real table is going to go a long way. And if you are local, maybe even looking at somewhere like Marketplace and such to find something. But a bed might be a cheaper option to put in there. Depending on what the difference is going to be for you and revenue wise. One thing to mention too about the speakeasy, guys, is do not supply alcohol to your guests. Don't offer a bottle of wine. Don't do any of that. There's minors that stay with them. They could be, their guests that come over that are minors. It could be their kids. It's just too much of a liability, and it's not worth it. I would also focus on your backyard too. And look and see what you could add here. You have the string lights, which is good. You have this little hammock here. I would want to find a better way to dress it up, especially like a photo like this, but with more amenities in it, either like seating around here or maybe a fire pit. At the very least, you could have a game back here, which would be very affordable. You should definitely also have kid items in the house. Pack and play and a high chair are very cheap items to add. Take photos of them. And I'm going to be a little harsh here too, but I really dislike the recliners. They just don't, they're very comfortable. I love sitting in a recliner, don't get me wrong. I'll sit in one all day and watch movies, but the way they look.
Yeah, they don't look luxury. Like a luxury client is not that would never be something that they would pick for themselves, right? So you have to think through the lens of what a luxury client is looking for, and this would not be something they would put in their own house. Even though Ryan's right, they're insanely comfortable. So that's for sure. It's a shortfalling in the furniture industry that we can't make a sexy recliner. One of these days, somebody's going to do it, but right now they all just look like Barca loungers, and that's not.
So are you suggesting like a material type of couch?
Just a couch.
It doesn't have to necessarily be a different material. The leather is fine. It's just the lines of the couch. It's the design of the couch. They look like recliners because that's exactly what they are. And that's understandable from a comfortability standpoint, but they're not coming here to be comfortable. They're not coming here to lounge and watch movies. They do that at their own house.
The only place that that there's an exception to that ever is if this was like a dedicated like movie theater space. And even then it needs to be the right ones too, for sure. But What's frustrating though is they're more expensive than a couch we would suggest for you. Like they
Mm,
have motors in them or whatever else going on. They have
mhm,
moving
mhm,
parts to where a basic couch that would cost you $1,000 that we would want to put in
mhm.
is going to drive more revenue. It's just you don't see recliners in hotels,
Mhm.
you
Okay.
know, and so uh, it's it's funny how the human brain works, right? Like you think I want to feel good. I want to sit somewhere comfortable. So my eyes would want to go and see a recliner uh in the photos, but it doesn't work that way. Even like I said,
Okay.
they want more of a stylish look to it, and it just feels more upscale, even
Mhm.
if it's going to be less comfortable overall for them.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Okay.
human design should be aspirational. So what they can't normally experience is a 4-minute walk to a super rad casino that's shaped like a giant
Yeah.
guitar, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
aspirational. I want to be able to experience that. And so your design needs to reflect that.
Gotcha.
Um,
There-
an easy thing too is some blackout curtains in all the rooms. You just
Yes.
said,
Hmm.
and take pictures of the soaps and shampoos, like I said, too, in there.
Gotcha.
And then, is this the outside area or
That
inside?
is, yeah, it's a connected, it's an inside porch.
Okay. I would want to look
Yeah.
at what you could do with this space then too. There's some
Okay.
open area here that's being kind of wasted right now.
Yeah.
Very
So
true.
also show if you provide Tide Pods and like dryer
I
sheets
do.
and such.
Okay.
Show that. We put everything in
Okay.
glass containers. We don't, nothing's in its original packaging. So I
Okay.
would get the cheap stuff, but put it in its own container.
Okay.
So, but super clean,
That's a
super nice
lot.
place. I don't want
Thank
it to
you.
sound like just this beat down on
Oh,
here,
no.
but
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm,
you've been a good
I'm
sport.
proud. I'm proud for my first, yeah, I'm a retired banker from banking. So it was, and it's an arbitrage. I don't even own the property. So, I mean, I did everything. I went to the city, I applied for my licenses. I was definitely a trial and error. And for 3 months into it, everything you're saying is things that I've always have contemplated, but I don't know a difference. So this is why we come to you all. You are the professionals. So thank you for everything.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
that's
so
Yeah,
exactly why
welcome.
we do it.
Yep,
great.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right, Ryan, we're at 1 o'clock.
Is there another one we have on there? I have a few minutes to
You have a few minutes? Okay, well, we're going to
rapid
go
fire.
over. Okay, again, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing her name right, but I'm going to say Diddy or Dite I can repost it if that helps. Hold on.
I see it on here.
Okay.
It's hello.
Am I saying your name right?
Dita.
D-Day. See, I knew I wasn't going to get that one. D-Day. Okay.
Oh, it's all good.
It's D-Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny because all of us back to my car so I can hear better. There we go. Better.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little choppy, so
There we go.
hopefully you can see all this. But just like always, guys, every week we'll post this to YouTube too. So if you have to hop off and you want to see what else happened, the whole thing gets posted raw to YouTube. So all right. I think I looked at this place a while back with you, right?
Yeah, it was before I had even gotten guests, I think.
Nice.
So I
How's it
don't
been
even
going?
think I had really good. I've been pretty much fully booked since I started.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure you said some things and I hadn't even started yet, so I don't even know if I did the things or not.
Okay, no worries. So this is a guest house on your property, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll look through the place. But as always, we want to see if there's any other amenities we can mention up here in your title for sure. I have a water filtration system in my own house, and I am very grateful for it. I don't know if I would mention it though in my title. And if that is the best thing that you have, we want to really see if there's anything else that we can add that's going to help with that. A pet peeve of mine, right away I can tell this is a screenshot because of this gray bar down here in the photo. And imagine if I,
Oh,
yeah,
didn't even notice that.
I'm anal with all this. So this right here is part of your phone when you screen grabbed it. So I get that cropped off at the very least.
No, I have the originals, so I must just have selected the wrong picture.
Yeah, no worries. But it's your main photo. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I see it right away. And for me, because I'm crazy, but as soon as I see that, I will knock down the place, as I don't feel like it's like if they don't even notice that, what else are they not noticing? So just food for thought. We'll take a glance at so it's mostly bullet points. I would add some emojis in here.
Okay.
But I know it's a super small place. It also just feels very short though. So I would want to think of maybe other things. And if you run out of stuff for your own place, either again, you can think of other things to add, or I would start focusing on the neighborhood and what's around it.
Okay.
But it feels short.
Okay.
So your reviews,
yeah, that's the only one. This is the one
Yeah.
I'm fighting. They showed up with 4 people instead of 3, so I had to charge them for the extra person. Then they made a hole in my sofa and smoked in my place.
Oh, okay. So do you have on record of you going back and forth with them on Airbnb about breaking the house rules?
Yes.
Okay.
I've
Did
been
you-
fighting with Airbnb ever since New Year's, and they just closed my case and said, sorry, you have to get a professional company to come out. But I'm like, but you already acknowledged that they burned a hole in my couch and you paid for it. But so they didn't care.
Yeah, they burned a hole in your couch with the smoking, but yet they won't pay for the removal of the smoking.
Right.
Make it make
Exactly. Right.
What's gonna cost you a lot more than the $200 is this review staying up.
Right.
So
exactly.
you need
I
to
have
fight
been trying
that.
to fight that. I've been fighting it since New Year's, and they said
Yeah.
no.
I should just start a company that fights Airbnb reviews.
Yeah, you'd be busy.
So this is what you need to do is, I mean, you have proof that they broke house rules. You don't really want to mention anything else other than that they broke the house rules, and this is retaliatory. And you want it to be clear that, show them the examples of the messaging. You do all of your communication for review removal by message or email. Do not call Airbnb. Do not have conversations with people, because you will have conversations that will go great, and then the next person you talk to, there's no information of that past call, and they don't care, and you're back to square one. So everything needs to be communicated via email or through the messaging on the customer service. But another thing that like I mentioned in the beginning of this call is if you upload the Airbnb terms and conditions, which you can find into ChatGPT, and then tell them that a guest showed up with additional guests, they smoked on the property and burned a hole in your couch, find the best argument for me to fight this review as retaliatory, and it'll produce something fantastic for you, better than I feel like sometimes I can barely speak English, and so ChatGPT
I did that. I put it
Okay.
into ChatGPT. I said, this is exactly what I want to say. This is what they did. This is the terms and conditions from Airbnb. It's going against all the rules. Like I put everything in there, and I fought with them on email like nonstop. And then they came back and said no, and I fought it again. And then they said, sorry, we're gonna go with the review anyway.
What did you? I'd have to see your argument to know exactly. Like, I'm happy that you went down the right path. I will say, we are still fighting a review that's a year old, where the guy brought cameras with him and left them by accident, and then try to book again, we wouldn't let them. And they still are leaving that review up. So I hear you. It's not foolproof, unfortunately, but I would keep going as often as you can with it. I would make sure you lean on the retaliatory thing as much as you can.
Right, that's
And
exactly what I did.
the fact that you were trying to charge them. Ideally, I wouldn't even mention the extra guests. I would just talk about the smoking. And if you have any, like, I assume you have photos of any kind of cigarette butts. Obviously, you have a hole in the couch. Anything like that, I would make sure is included in there. And then also your communication as well. But as I always tell you guys, we are not Airbnb's client. They do not care about us. The guest is their client. That's their customer. They are going to protect that relationship way above ours every single time. And so we can either sit here and complain about that, or we can see what they're looking for that's going to allow us to benefit from that. What do they want to deliver to that guest? And that's what we curtail our whole design around, our listing around, our minimum stays, all of that, the discounts that we apply. All of that is to benefit in Airbnb's eyes, the guest, and that's why we do it. And that's why we get promoted within it. So I just keep fighting it, though, because that's super annoying.
Right.
And like I said, this is going to be much more than the $200.
Right.
And when this happens to two guys, you can't get it removed. Just march forward and keep getting 5-star reviews.
Right, that's what happened. Right, I just said, you know what? People can see that she even wrote in her review that there's unexpected fees from an extra person, and I'm like, okay, well,
We stopped charging extra person fees when it was less than, I think it's $150 right now, total in totality of like their stay, because it's one of those things that like the scales have to be balanced with the amount of revenue you can create with also delivering a good guest experience. And so I can crank the dial to 11 on getting revenue, but the guest experience is going to go down, me doing that, right? And so we want to be careful with demanding certain things. And if people do show up with extra guests, and we will, like I said, we've moved that minimum around. It can be different for you. But when someone shows up and it's going to be $100 difference, it's for us, we've realized it's not worth the $100 to deal with a disgruntled guest over that. But we do make sure we let them know that we're waiving that fee for them. It's just like a hotel waiving, a cost for you, right? You're immediately in a better mood. You appreciate them. Like you're going to be much more forgiving over things that happen. So depending on how much extra that was going to be, like I said, it's not worth getting it in the review.
Right.
Can I ask a question? In terms of reviews, I had someone come I remember a few weeks ago, I said that there was someone that was a host, and they came, and I had all 5 reviews, and it was really clean and everything. And my cleaner went over especially, and they gave me a 4. And he said that, we had to walk on the floor, and it wasn't very clean. And I know it was clean. How do you fight that, though? You can't fight that if they say, I mean, and instead of being a nice host and saying it to me privately, put it on the, I just thought that was, what a bitch.
Yeah, you can't fight it. It's you can just say mean things about them and behind their back. That's really all you can do. So Liddell, I assume that's Liddell. It sounds like Liddell.
Yeah,
I would make sure your in-house messaging is right. So you want to make sure there's an explanation of what a 4-star review is compared to what a 5-star review is. Everywhere else in the world, a 4-star out of 5 is good. You go on Yelp, someone has a 4-star review on Yelp, it's probably good food. 4-star hotel, fantastic place. Like Airbnb is the only place that 4 stars is bad and 5 stars is good. So it's 5 stars or nothing in this space. And we have, like, the messaging helps, the auto messaging that you send, but you need to also have the in-house messaging right too. And so for anyone on the call, we do offer all of our Canva links to all that. That includes like that part of it, but also house rules, Wi-Fi signs, remove your shoes, all that good stuff. if you're interested. So shoot us again a message to that link or that number that texts you if you guys want any of that stuff privately. But and it's the day or D-Day?
Dita.
Dita. Idea. This is super cute place. I remember seeing it the first time. Overall, very good job, especially the finishes in the house look very good. Again, we got to remove this MLS thing right here.
In
Otherwise,
fact,
it's a cool photo.
that photo is super cool, but it's licensed, which means the photographer who took it finds out you're using it without their permission. You're going to get a bill.
I paid to get all the photos from the realtor from before, so I have them all. So it must just have been, maybe I selected the wrong photo or something, because I did pay for it.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
you got them on a few of them though.
Yeah,
so
the watermark's got to be off of there.
So then maybe the realtor sold it to me, but didn't actually get it.
Yes, yeah. If you don't have any without watermarks, that's a problem. But you should also have a licensing, like they should have sent you an agreement stating that you basically have permission to utilize these photos. And if they didn't do that, then yeah, you might have just got sold something that they didn't have the permission to sell.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you paid to get these watermarks removed. That's what you paid for. So
yeah,
we want to make sure that we get that off of there. Again, it's going to look a lot better though. But otherwise, like I said, overall place looks pretty great. Again, curtains would go a long way in the bedrooms, just for the guest experience alone. But you have a lot of white too. Besides like some of this wallpaper, it's a great way to add some texture and some color to the space. I would also consider some rugs in the spaces as well. And this room to this room feels very different. And I would want to bring some of this room to this space. This feels much more modern and techy with this bed. And it's just very, very white and very, very clean. And this one just does not. And so I would try to bring that over with either textures or different bed frame, similar rugs, some more of this maybe wallpaper somewhere, or a similar style wallpaper some on this back wall too. Is small, so it's a nice place to add something intense that isn't going to drown the whole photo out. Yeah,
it's really small, the room. I think it's because with the wide angle that the photographer took, because it's actually really small and it has a lot of color and stuff in there. But
I still know, maybe it's just the bed frame in general that doesn't fit the rest of the house.
Yeah,
agreed.
To me, yeah, like this photo right here, the way it would fit the rest of the house is if it was like growing herbs back here for you, or some kind of grow light. Would feel similar, because the rest of the house feels very natural elements and earthy. And this one's just screaming, I can plug in my laptop.
Right.
So, but other than that, like I said, you got all the right photos. You have the drawers open, showing what's available to them to cook, coffee, showing all the soaps, like very, very solid photos taken. Just get the ones with the watermark and your screenshot off of there, and I think you will be off to the races with it for sure. And then I would look at the that title too. Missy, you have some stuff?
Okay. Just a couple like super nitpicky things. The shampoo, conditioner, body wash bottles are adorable, but they're on the ground. They're like on the floor of the shower, so they need to be mounted. So that your guests aren't having to bend over and utilize. See, they're on the floor of the shower. So they sell aftermarket mounts for bottles like that. So I would consider, and not, they're like the no drill kind, so you don't have to drill into that beautiful tile.
Okay.
So there's a good adhesive that they come with. There's also suction cup ones that you can get for the glass if you'd rather put it on the glass. So just that's super nitpicky, I know. And then the toothbrush cup on the sink, super
Mhm.
cute. I would get rid of it. Those things get so freaking nasty. And people just don't use them. So it's just kind of, it's just in the way. It's just something that somebody's going to knock over and probably break. So
Okay.
it's cute, but unnecessary.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, super nitpicky.
No, it's good. This is what we want, right? We want to know.
Yeah. And then the pack and play looks like it's used. Maybe it's not, but the photo of it makes it look like it's dingy. And so that would turn me off if I was someone traveling with a small child and I needed a pack and play. I maybe just not open to even staying here because I feel like it's probably just the photo. It just looks dingy.
Okay.
So we do all black ones. That way they don't ever get, because we know like little toddlers standing in that thing, like they're putting their mouth on it 100% of the time. They are drooling all over that thing. And so the black ones just look cleaner, longer. So like I said, very nitpicky, but otherwise very cute.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
Ryan's
you.
right. Rugs and drapes go a long way. It makes the space feel cozier, warmer, the textures of that. Oh, the other one, sorry, Ryan. There's a door, a picture of your door, but your entry to get in is a key box, and you really need the lock. So like a deadbolt lock. So you need to go the other way, Ryan. Right, a little bit more, right there on the left. Yep, see the door?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the
That's smart
deadbolt.
lock.
Yeah, you need a smart lock.
Yeah.
Oh, do a smart lock instead.
So
Yes.
yeah, for many reasons. A guest is going to enjoy that experience better, but B, you don't have to constantly change this lockbox code. And what ends up happening is if you are doing it right now, you won't want to do it forever and you will stop. And then everyone has that code and it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
For future guests, you're just waiting for an issue.
Sorry, I literally used to work for a property management company that did not change the code, and someone came back during a guest while another guest was there, and they let themselves in. It really did happen.
So then do you change the codes on the other lock all the time?
The smart lock, the one that goes in your deadbolt, yeah.
You can, so if you use property management software like we use Guesty, you can hook up your door code to it, or hook up your smart lock to it where it'll set your codes every time. And it'll put them on 15 minutes before they check in and remove them 15 minutes after they check out. So, or you can just do it manually, which I did for a while when we first started, but there was many times that I'd forget. And then we're getting messages saying that the code's not working. So that automation I think is well worth it. One last thing I want to mention about your place, and then we gotta call it, is your bedroom spaces. I think even both spaces would look so much more upscale with white linens. So especially like a white duvet in here that it feels thicker than this quilt too would just add a very upscale feel, but especially to this other room, to this space, to this bed. And then especially if you could go white linen and rug and curtains. I mean, don't want to get too fancy, but
okay. And really like so the quilt that you have on there is very pretty. I would just fold it up like into thirds and lay it across the bed like a scarf. Like, so you still have that texture and that color. You aren't wasting money. I mean, we don't like want to get caught up in like the sunk cost bias, but like they're actually very pretty. So, and the shams are pretty too, but pairing that with like a white duvet makes that feel so much more luxurious and still gives you that little bit of pop.
There is a duvet underneath. It's just because we're in Miami and it's very hot, so the duvet is thinner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You just want to see more of the white because it feels hospitality grade.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the help.
Yeah. Ryan, so we've got a handful of people that want the Canva forms. So
let me see if I can find that.
And Leila mentions use the last 4 digits of each guest's phone number for their access code. 100%. Like that's what we do. No one's ever going to forget their phone number. That's saves you a lot of midnight calls and messages about how they can't find their code. they'll just know. They'll have it. Okay.
All right, here's the post this in the chat. That's a link to get those Canva forms, guys. But as always, was there anything else that was last minute?
No, we had a handful of folks that wanted to have their properties looked at, and unfortunately we just ran out of time. So Betsy, Olga, both of you, Lauren, I think was another one. Sorry, Jens, we didn't get to yours either. Maybe next time, or they can schedule time with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions today, which were good. So hopefully this was super helpful for everyone. You know, and if we keep going like this, I could look at doing 2 days a week or something like that. I want it to be helpful for you guys. Ideally it's not super repetitive either, but I've seen some people make some of these changes, posting some reviews on our page, mentioning how it's made a difference for them. So that's where it's important to us. We are announcing the design giveaway on February 2nd, which is Monday. Like I said, it's on our Instagram. Give us a follow there. If you have not applied for the design giveaway, make sure that you do. You should have gotten information for it by now. But again, if you guys need anything at all, if you don't think you've gotten the information you need, the text number or the email that's sending you about these meetings, just respond there with whatever you need, and we'll make sure you have it before then. So if we don't meet with you by the end of a business, essentially on Friday, you will not apply for the Monday giveaway. But everyone that has, you'll get some alerts that's happening. If you already met with me, do not worry. There's nothing else you need to do. There's just a countdown happening. And I do apologize. I know with the Zoom link and with the design giveaway 5 days away, you guys probably got a lot of text messages today. Bear with us. We're just trying to make sure everyone knows of the free information today with these Zoom calls. So anything else, Misty?
I don't have anything unless anybody else wants to jump on and say what they like. There was a takeaway today that was super helpful. Is there anybody that wants to be brave and say? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm not that brave.
Nobody wants to be brave, huh? All right, that's all right.
No, I mean, maybe there's no takeaways. Kim's phone.
Kim said me. If you want to say something, Kim, go for it.
Yes. So we are getting back into this vacation rental business after 10 years of a hiatus. And it's very overwhelming, and everybody reaches out with something to sell you, but doesn't provide much value. So I do appreciate, I jumped on this call. I apologize. I think I stood you up on a meeting previously because I just thought you were another one of those that wasn't going to do anything. So I appreciate it. The automation is a huge difference in the last 10 years. And it's kind of why we got out of vacation rentals back then, because it was just, it was very time consuming, and answering questions for a 2-night stay, took me an hour. So anyways, I'd appreciate it. And I would love to get back on your schedule.
Shoot us a text message for wherever you're getting alerts about this Zoom call. Okay, Kim?
Perfect.
Thank you so much. That was really
funny.
awesome. Yeah, and Lee, I listed photos of baby stuff. That was good advice. The smart lock, iPhone user, whoever you are. My renter told me today they just made copies of our keys. Yikes! Don't give them that. Don't give them that opportunity.
I also would like to thank, even though I didn't get a chance to get the review, I was very thankful for all the information that I did acquire today. And there was some helpful things that I can work on. Hopefully I'll be able to get a review next time.
Yeah, appreciate that, Betsy.
You.
So every week, if anyone's new to this, we do this every week. Obviously we get to what we can, but feel free to come back. If you do need more help, or you need more individual help, like I said already 10 times, shoot us a text message or an email to wherever you got this notification for this call. And we can coordinate a more individualized plan for you, depending on if you need help with the technology side, design side, whatever it is. We offer some coaching as well too. So whatever we can help you out with, we will. But appreciate it, guys. This was a good one today. It'll be on YouTube at the end of the day, so feel free to rewatch anything there, and let me know what you guys need.
Yeah, and thank you, Kim and Betsy, for being brave and telling us what you learned today. That's great.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.